Good afternoon friends, welcome to Mahalakshmi Academy. In this video we are going to see circular motion. Before I begin my tutorial, I request you to please subscribe to my YouTube channel Mahalakshmi Academy. So let us begin. Motion of a particle along a straight path is called as rectilinear motion. Motion of a particle along straight path is called as rectilinear motion. If the particle is moving along a path which is completely straight, then it is called as rectilinear motion. But motion of a particle along the curved path is called as curvilinear motion. If the particle is having a curved path, then that motion is called as curvilinear motion. Motion of a particle along a curved path is called as curvilinear motion. Newton's first law: every body is in state of rest or uniform motion unless and until it is subjected by external force. What does Newton's first law state? That every body is in state of rest or uniform motion unless and until it is subjected by external force. If the acceleration at the center of gravity is zero, if velocity is equal to 0, at rest velocity is equal to 0 and uniform motion velocity is equal to constant, acceleration is equal to dv by dt. If anyhow acceleration is going to be 0 in at rest or in uniform motion, if acceleration is equal to 0, then force is equal to mass into acceleration. Therefore if the body is in rest or uniform motion, then force will be 0 and it will the object will be remain in rest position. Newton's second law: rate of change of linear momentum is directly proportional to the parallel force and it takes in the direction of external force. Rate of change of linear momentum dp by dt is directly proportional to the parallel force. Parallel force is equal to F and it takes in the direction of the external force, that is dp by dt is equal to the F. I have shown this derivation in the earlier videos. Please watch that derivation, which means that if the body is in motion, then it has some acceleration, and in that case force is equal to mass into acceleration, and mass into acceleration. In that case force will not be equal to 0. Circular motion. Circular motion is the type of the curvilinear motion in which the radius is constant and remaining parameter remains the same. Circular motion is the type of the curvilinear motion in which radius is constant and remaining parameter remain the same. What were those formulas in curvilinear motion? Tangential velocity v is equal to r omega, where r is equal to radius, omega is equal to angular velocity. Vn is a normal component of velocity, Vn is equal to 0. Tangential component of acceleration, at is equal to r alpha. Normal component of acceleration, an is equal to r omega square, where r is equal to radius, alpha is equal to angular acceleration whose units is radian per second square, and omega is equal to the angular velocity. Now we will compare linear motion and circular motion in terms of notation. In linear motion it is u, which indicates initial velocity. In circular motion is equal to omega I, which indicates angular velocity, initial angular velocity, where I stands for initial. V is equal to final velocity. In circular it is omega F, where it is final angular velocity. A is equal to acceleration. In circular motion it is angular acceleration whose unit is radian per second square. In linear motion it is displacement. In circular motion it is angular displacement. In linear motion it is t, where t is the time taken. In circular motion it is also remains the t. Now there are three kinematical equations: v is equal to ut, u plus at, v square is equal to u square plus 2s, and s is equal to ut plus half at square. There are same equation in circular motion. V is equal to ut become omega f is equal to omega I plus alpha t, where omega f is equal to final angular velocity, omega I is equal to initial angular velocity, and alpha is equal to angular acceleration, t is the time taken. V square is equal to u square plus 2s will become omega f square is equal to omega I square plus 2 alpha theta, where omega f is equal to the final angular velocity, omega is equal to initial angular velocity, alpha is equal to angular acceleration, theta is equal to the angular displacement. S is equal to ut plus half at square become theta is equal to omega at plus half alpha t square, where theta is equal to angular displacement, omega is equal to initial angular velocity, t is equal to time taken, alpha is equal to angular acceleration, and t is equal to same time taken. Now in the first slide only I explained uniform motion. In uniform motion velocity remains constant. That means in uniform circular motion the velocity is also constant. Therefore if acceleration is equal to dv by dt, therefore if velocity itself is constant, the derivative of constant is 0, therefore tangential acceleration is 0. That means in case of the uniform circular motion, tangential acceleration is always 0. Now this is circular motion. There are two forces, centripetal force and centrifugal force. Centripetal force always act towards the center and centrifugal force always act away from the center. These both the forces have equal magnitude but they are opposite in direction. Okay, this is the topmost position, middle position and bottom position. centrifugal acceleration, as I said earlier, both are equal in magnitude. It is equal to centripetal acceleration is equal to r omega square, but omega is equal to v by r. Therefore centripetal acceleration is equal to centripetal acceleration is equal to v square by r. Centrifugal force is equal to centripetal force is equal to m r omega square. By putting omega is equal to v by r, we get centrifugal force is equal to centripetal force is equal to mv square by r. Now for a object or a particle or any string to maintain a circular motion, it should have minimum velocity. That velocity at the topmost position it is under root rg, at the middle position it is under root 3 rg, at the bottom position it is under root 5 rg. It is easy to remember root rg, root rg, root rg, odd numbers 1, 3, 5, under root rg, under root 3 rg, under root 5 rg. These are the minimum velocity required for circular motion. Note, in case of string problems, centripetal acceleration is used. In case of the curved rod problem, centrifugal acceleration is used. We need to remember it. In case of the string problem, centripetal acceleration is used. Centripetal acceleration, it is directed toward the center. In case of the curved rod problem, centrifugal acceleration is used. Centrifugal acceleration directed away from the center. Now we will see one question. A stone of mass m is attached at the end of string of length L, is rotated in vertical circle at constant speed, and tension in the spring will be maximum when stone is at the top of the circle, at the halfway down the circle, at the quarter way down the circle, at the bottom of circle. We will see all the four positions A, B, C, D, where A is at the top of the circle, D is at the bottom of the circle, B is quarter way down the circle, C is halfway down the circle. Okay, now tension always act away from the object. Tension always act away from the object. So tension will act in A, it will act in downward direction. In D, it will act in upward direction. In C, it will act in right direction, and B, it will act in this direction. Acceleration. As we have seen, for string we are using centripetal acceleration. Therefore, acceleration will also act for A. Acceleration will act towards center, that is in downward direction. For D, it will act in upward direction, and for C, it will act in rightward direction. Okay, and for B also it will act in this direction. So let us see for A. For A, this is A position. Tension is acting away from the body, so it is acting in downward direction, and acceleration is also acting in downward direction. And weight mg, weight always act in downward direction. Therefore, an acceleration is not equal to 0, and summation fy net is also not equal to 0. Therefore, summation fy is equal to man, as acceleration is not equal to 0. Therefore, as t is acting in downward direction, mg is also acting in downward direction. Man is equal to mv square by r. We have kept it on right hand side, as the direction of tension and the weight is in the same direction of the acceleration. The reason for being positive is the direction of the tension, and the weight is in the same direction of the acceleration. Therefore, both are positive. Ta plus mg is equal to mv square by r. Therefore, Ta is equal to mv square by r minus mg. For D position, now D position, it is downward position. Acceleration is acting in upward direction. Tension is also acting in downward direction, and weight is acting in downward. Acceleration is acting in upward direction. Tension is also acting in upward direction, and weight is acting in downward direction. So mg is acting in downward direction. Here I forgot to put T. Tension is acting in upward direction, and acceleration is also acting in upward direction. Therefore, acceleration not equal to 0, summation fy net not equal to 0. Fy is equal to man. Therefore, tension, now Td is acting in downward direction. I apologize for it. Tension Td is acting in upward direction. Therefore, Td minus mg is equal to mv square by r. Now we will look at this sign convention, as the acceleration and the direction of the tension is same. Therefore, Td is acting in the same direction of the acceleration. Therefore, Td is positive, that is tension in D. And mg, it is acting in downward direction, which is opposite to direction of the acceleration. Therefore, it is considered minus. Therefore, Td minus mg is equal to mv square by r. Td is equal to mv square by r plus mg. Now we will look at C position. C position, rightward C, tension always act away from the object, weight always act in downward direction, and acceleration is directed toward the center, it is centripetal acceleration. Therefore, direction of the acceleration and tension is same. And now we need not go for summation fy, as both the forces are acting in horizontal direction. Therefore, summation fx is equal to man, it is normal acceleration here. Therefore, Tc is equal to mv square by r, as the direction of the tension is same as that of acceleration. Now we will look for the B position. For B position, it is moving in like a tension is acting away from the object, therefore it will go in this direction. Acceleration is also acting in towards the center, therefore it will be m, and weight mg act to in downward direction, therefore this is weight mg, this is acceleration, and tension over here, tb over here, therefore tb and acceleration are in same direction, therefore tb will be positive, and mg, here it is mg, therefore mg cos 45 degree, mg cos 45 degree is equal to mv square by, therefore tb plus mg cos 45 degree, if we apply cos of this will be nearest angle, and direction is also same of that of acceleration and tension, therefore tb plus mg cos 45 degree is equal to mv square by, therefore tb is equal to mv square by minus mg by root 2. In this way, TD is greater than TC greater than TB greater than TA. Therefore, tension at the bottommost position is greater than the tension at the halfway position is greater than the tension at the quarter-wave position is greater than the tension at the bottom position. That is TD greater than TC greater than TB greater than TA. Therefore, the tension will be maximum at the downward position and tension will be minimum at the upward position. So thank you everyone for watching this video. I request you to please like, share, comment and subscribe to my YouTube channel Mahalakshmi.